global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a virus.
Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News. I'm reading an article titled Update, Citigroup says Feds ordered 7-day restriction on bank withdrawals. And this was posted on Monday, February 22nd, 2010. And I'm not surprised by this, but I think there's a lot of things that we should be looking at. And I was just kind of going over this in my mind recently with the recent move by the Chinese to dump not all or not even half, but a relatively small portion, but nonetheless, they were trying to dump treasuries, and the problem is if they can actually, once they start selling them, if they'll be able to even sell them, right? U.S. treasuries are, so. But there's going to be other things that are going to be coming too, such as the foreclosures, and when the real unemployment finally starts to show its ugly head, and the government can no longer cook its books and keep it at at 10% or whatever they're doing right now, when it's really at around 18%, 20%. And so once it gets up to that 23, 25%, and they start admitting that, and then that's about 1 in 3 people are unemployed. And you can just start talking to people, and I have most of my friends are unemployed. Some of my family members are unemployed, accountants. So it's you don't need to sometimes even listen to the government. You just look around you, and there's little canaries in the coal mine, and the treasury is being dumped as one of them. The other thing was this, which I was telling people exactly a year ago, and up until probably about a week ago when I was talking about it, which is bank runs, or bank holidays, or whatever you want to call them, where the banks won't let you take your money out, and that's another canary in the coal mine. So when these things start coming up, as they have been, just for the last couple months, 2 canaries in the coal mine. I mean, you got to pay attention to this stuff, because this is letting you know what you need to do. So as far as making moves with your money and what to do, it says a new advisory being sent by America's third largest bank to its account holders has stoked fears that major financial institutions could be preparing for old-fashioned bank runs if the economy takes a turn for the worse. Originally reported by John Carney at the Business Insider website, Citigroup is sending the following information to customers along with their bank statements. Effective April 1st, 2010, we reserve the right to require 7 days advance notice before permitting a withdrawal from all checking accounts. While we do not currently exercise this right and have not exercised it in the past, we are required by law to notify you of this change. Says almost an identical advisory to the one being sent out can be read on page 22 of Citibank's client manual effective January 1st, 2010, which can be read here from Citibank's own website. Here we go. Says withdrawal refusals. In some instances, we may refuse a request for a withdrawal or transfer from an account. The following list includes, but is not limited to, the most common reasons we might refuse such requests. And you can go through this and look at it. But it is Citibank. And it says withdrawal refusals, and so that is on page 22. It says here, we reserve the right to require 7 days advance notice before permitting a withdrawal from all checking, savings, and money market accounts. We currently do not exercise this right and have not exercised it in the past, states the manual. I guess they want to just repeat that they haven't done it before, and that they currently don't do it. So when they do it, they don't look like evil people, which I'm not saying they are, but according to the Future of Capitalism blog, Citigroup originally claimed that the warning was only sent nationwide as a result of a mistake, but that the measures do apply to account holders in Texas. It goes on to say, however, in a statement, Citigroup confirmed that they had reserved the right to impose the new 7-day rule on all account holders nationwide, but claimed that they had no plans to enforce it. The banks stated that they had been forced to enact the new policy as a result of federal regulations. When Citibank moved to unlimited FDIC coverage in 2009, we had to reclassify many checking accounts to allow for immediate withdrawals in order to ensure all customers qualified for the additional coverage. When we moved back to the standard FDIC coverage with most major banks in 2010, Citibank decided to reclassify those accounts back to make them eligible again for promotional incentives. And then it says, to do so, Federal Reserve Regulation D requires these accounts called NOW accounts or NOW accounts to reserve the right to require a 7-day notice of withdrawal. It says, we recently communicated this technical requirement to our customers. However, we have never exercised this right and have no plans to do so in the near future, reads a statement released by the bank. And that's, like I said, that's not to incite panic or whatever. Over the last 18 months, numerous rumors of bank runs, bank holidays, and limitations on access to cash at ATMs have been floating around. Citigroup's new policy to restrict withdrawals won't do anything to calm such fears. As reported back in 2008, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corp (FDIC), which guarantees an individual's account up to $100,000, only has about $50 billion to insure about $1 trillion in assets across the nation's financial institutions. So, yeah, and that was another thing that came up. Not really a canary in a coal mine, but definitely something that just kind of adds to this whole disaster. This economic collapse that is very likely, right? Unless something is changed, radically changed, and not radical by I mean. Bailing out banks and $28 trillion later, we're still bailing out banks, right? So I'm not talking about that type of radical change, just something that's a real change, a real kind of oversight in that, and not the bureaucracy oversight, but just, accountability, such as at least auditing the Fed and that. But here we go, and it says, but yeah, so the FDIC, we found out that, yeah, they only have $50 billion to insure $1 trillion in assets. So, I mean, you don't have to be a mathematics professor to do the math there. It says this revelation prompted fears that an accelerating amount of bank closures could absorb FDIC funds and leave holders of money market and traditional savings account exposed. Citigroup warns customers it may refuse to allow withdrawals. John Carney, Business Insider, says on Sunday the 21st, the image of banks locking their doors to keep customers from making withdrawals during a bank run is what immediately came to mind when we heard that Citigroup was telling customers it had the right to prevent any withdrawals from checking accounts for 7 days. And these are all the other sources, and I'm going to post this link so that you can go on there and check it yourself. Because I guess it is real. So there you go, everybody. Hope this article was kind of informative and kind of brought some light to the situation, this whole financial situation, as far as where you stand right now with whatever money you have, and what to do with it, and if you're getting a check or if you're getting a direct deposit. I don't know if trying to get a check sent to you to where you can go to somewhere that will cash it for you besides your bank. But, I'm not a financial advisor or planner or anything like that, so I'm not going to give advice on it. That's just something that I've been thinking about recently. So, thank you everybody for checking this out. Take care.